the land market, we're down almost 10%, 9.2% in terms of the number of sales that are happening this year versus last year. But the median price for land is up 2.2%. So median price has gone up for land. So if you average everything together, we are up on median price overall in the market versus last year here on the Big Island. Hey, what's happening, friends? Market report time for June 2025. And in this week's market report, or this month's market report, I'm going to focus on some key data points, which are the number of homes in the market and the median price, and then also looking at the number of closed sales and do some comparisons to a year ago, because something that I've been saying for a while now is that the market in 2024 was about as slow as it could possibly get, and that it couldn't get any worse in 2025. And in most cases, it's a little bit slower this year than it was last year, but that is not leading to what most would think is a fall in prices. And so we'll go through all of that and jump right into the data. So let's start off here with the Big Island data. And all these are a lot of numbers, so I'm going to talk you through this and just point out the key numbers we want to look at. And this basically breaks down year-to-date comparisons between this year in the first 5 months versus last year. And if we look at that, the number of closed sales in the year is actually down a little bit. So let me wait for this data to update here. All right, there we go. Okay, so the number of closed sales this year for residential homes is down 2.25%, but the median price is up 9.6%. So median price has gone up even though the number of sales have gone down. In the condo market, the median, or the number of sales, is down 18%, so much slower this year than it was last year. And the median price is actually almost down 3%. So the median price is down a little bit year to date, but the number of sales is actually down much, much more, right? 18% versus 3%. And then on the land market, we're down almost 10%, 9.2% in terms of the number of sales that are happening this year versus last year. But the median price for land is up 2.2%. So median price has gone up for land. So if you average everything together, we are up on median price overall in the market versus last year here on the Big Island. And then looking at the same data set for the island of Kauai. So jumping over to the island of Kauai, the number of homes, home sales is down 1.2%, so almost the same, but down a little bit. But the median price is down pretty significantly, down 19% for residential homes. And then the condo market is up just a little bit, 0.7%, so almost exactly the same, but the condo market is up 16% on the island of Kauai in terms of median price. And then for land, we're down 9% in the number of sales, but up 30% in the median price. And so if you average all this out, median price overall is higher, even though in the residential market it's down, but the condo market and the land market it's up. So overall market wide, it is higher than it was a year ago. So similar kind of trends on the Big Island and Kauai. And then jumping over to Maui, so looking at the number of homes for sale, that's been rising right over the course of the last year. So if you look at right now, 1,300 homes on the market for Kauai. If you look at a year ago, there was 952. And if we look at the sales price, it kind of looks like it's jumping all over the place. But if you look at the scale here, it's really just 1 million to 1.4 million. So a year ago, the median price was 1.197. This year it's 1,084,000. So median price is about the same. It's down a little bit, but if you look at the number of homes that are for sale, it has been up significantly. And then looking at closed sales has kind of been just steady, holding steady around between 100 and 130. And so we're at 120 closed sales for May. If we look at a year ago, it was 152. So fewer closed sales this year than last year. But again, the market continues to be pretty strong in terms of the sales price, even though there's more homes on the market and closed sales are pretty much stagnant. And then looking over on the island of Oahu, so the number of homes for sale, again, going up pretty significantly. We're at 3,600 homes for sale. If we look back a year ago, it was 2,600. So about 1,000 more properties on the market this year versus last year. And sales price, same thing. It kind of jumps all over the place month over month. But again, the scale is between 800,000 and 700,000. And a year ago, there was the median price was 686,000, and this takes into account residential and condos, and so it's combining those two together. But this year it's 750,000, so median price is up overall for the residential market on Oahu. If you're looking to relocate here on the Big Island, I want to share with you a resource that we put together. Over 80 agents from my team, expert agents here on the Big Island, put together a relocation guide that will help you evaluate all of the important factors that you want to take into account before you move here to the Big Island. School districts, healthcare, employment, all of the things that you got to think about, we put into one home buyer's guide that will help you figure out what is best when you start this relocation process here to the Big Island. So if you want this guide, just click on the link below, fill out the form. We will send you the guide for free. And if you want to take the next steps and have a conversation with us, we'd be happy to help. What does this mean? This kind of means that the market is pretty much stable, right? There's nothing crazy going on. We're steadily seeing an increase in inventory across all of the islands, but prices are definitely holding steady. The number of sales that are happening are a little bit lower than they were last year, but pretty steady. And so it's a pretty balanced market overall. And like we've been saying, I put a video out recently about this is the year to buy because there is more inventory than there's been in the last 5 years. And because of the decrease in demand, is not as many homes are selling. Really, as a buyer, you have a really good opportunity to shop, take your time, get good terms on your offer accepted, negotiate with a seller. So it's really a good time to buy. But then on the sell side, if you look at the overall number of homes that are on the market, it's still lower than it was pre-COVID levels. So it is still somewhat of a low inventory market, even though we're getting to about 6 months of inventory, which is a balanced market. So if you're a seller, the main thing that you want to be doing is making sure that you are pricing your property competitively and not being too aggressive, because for the last 5 years, you could really be aggressive with price, and in most cases, your house would still sell. Right now, you can still pretty much get top dollar for your house as much as you could have ever gotten in history, but you do have to price it properly for it to sell and entice buyers, because buyers have more choices now than they did ever in the past. And again, all of this data definitely is hyper local. So this is looking at islands in total. So if you're looking at buying or selling in a specific area, you definitely want to reach out and get a breakdown on what is going on in that specific area, or even like in a specific complex, because sometimes in a complex there could be market dynamics that are contrary to what's going on in the overall market. So reach out if you have any questions. You can always book a meeting with me and our team. In the comments below, there's a link to do that. And you can always email me at Dylan@BuyBigIsland and we'll get you set up. But we'll make sure that you get all the information that you need to make a smart decision on whatever your real estate plans are. But make sure you're really getting that specific market data, because some of this is kind of overall. But in the last few months, it's kind of been the same story over and over and over again. Nothing super exciting going on. Pretty stable market. We're getting back to like a really technically balanced market, which at the end of the day is, I think, a good thing for everybody, because it can't be crazy forever. And anytime it swings one way or the other, somebody has to lose. And this is really a market where it's pretty fair, and we're seeing some pretty fair negotiations happen, and there's some good opportunities on both sides. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next month. Aloha.